Hello everyone. Today I will demonstrate how you can use Botpress and Google Sheet to automate your Facebook page customer Q&A process with an AI agent. The diagram you're seeing on screen actually demonstrates how the components are connected. So we have our Facebook users interacting with the page through Facebook page messenger. And what we will do, we will create an AI agent using Botpress, which will be connected with this messenger, and this agent will be responsible for performing all the Q&A by replying to the user's queries automatically. AI agent will use a Google Sheet to gather extra information it needs to reply to the customers. Botpress is an open source chatbot development platform designed to help developers build, deploy, and manage conversational AI chatbots. We will use the cloud solution to deploy our chatbot. To create the chatbot, first we need to create an account here. I already registered using my Gmail. So this is my Botpress account. This is the dashboard from where we can actually create a bot now. So let's just go ahead and create our first bot. So we can open it in the studio. So this is our chatbot. So in this panel, you can see various controls. We will use the workflows to actually modify our bot. Okay, so this is the place where you can actually add various nodes and other features. So let's first get rid of this stuff that is being given by default. Let's zoom in a little bit. So let's just minimize this. So let's just get rid of all of this. There are two nodes that needs to be there for all of the bots, which is start node and the end node. So if I right click on this area anywhere, so we can see we can add two types of nodes. So let's start with standard node. So a node is just a group of actions that can be taken in a sequence, right? Call this greetings node. Inside a node, we can actually add various cards. The cards are the minimal amount of action that can be performed in a sequence. So we can add lots of cards here. So if we click on this add card button, we can see what are the cards that are available. So let's just start with the text one, so you can actually see what the cards actually do. So let's select this text card. Inside the text card, we have few options. You can see a message to send. In a text card, what you can do, you can actually send a message to the user, and that's it. That's the only functionality of text card. What we can see, if anyone actually sends a message to the chatbot, we just want to send a greetings message. Let's say, hello, user. All right. So after that, we need to connect the greetings node with the start node. So we can just left click on that and drag a connection to the greetings node. And if we connect this with the end node, so after greeting the user, the flow will be terminated. We can actually chat with the system here. So let's just say hello. If we say hello, we just get this message and the conversation is over, because we start here, it receives the message, it greets the user, and the conversation is over. So that's how this flow works. The conversation flow actually depends on how the nodes are connected from start to end. Let's have a look at the architecture diagram, what we wanted to do before. We have to connect the Excel sheet that actually holds all the information that our chatbot needs to respond to the user queries. First, have a look at the page. So this is a page that I created to sell some t-shirts. What I want to do, I want to connect our AI chatbot with this page's messenger, so that when users asks about typical questions about my products, the chatbot will be able to answer typical queries based on the information that I have. And this is a Google Sheet that actually holds all the information regarding the t-shirts that I want to sell. So we can see we have 4 products here. These are the relevant information. So when users ask about like what kind of t-shirts we sell, what is the price, what are the features of those t-shirts, they can actually get an answer. We need to connect this sheet with our chatbot first. And then lastly, we will connect our bot with this page so that we can actually chat with the bot through the messenger. Okay, let's just go ahead and connect our Google Sheet. So for that, first we need to go to this installed integrations, and here we actually have to find the option to connect our Google Sheet with our chatbot. So for that, we need to click here, find more on the hub, and then we need to search for Google Sheet. Yeah, so this is the option for Google Sheets, and let's just select that and install. So Botpress actually allow you to connect with lots of third-party apps, including Google Sheets and WhatsApp, Messenger, etc. To connect with Google Sheet, first we need to actually select the option to configure manually. We can see we have to provide few parameters. The first one is the spreadsheet ID. The second one is service account private key, and the third one is service account email. This Google Sheet I have created from my Gmail account, but to allow Botpress to interact with this Google Sheet, we need to create service accounts. Let's go to Google Cloud Console here. So to create a service account, first we need to create a project. To create a new project, first we need to click on the button select project, and then from here we need to click on new project. So let's provide a name, just create that. So our project is being created here. To use Google Cloud Console that way, you need to actually subscribe this service from Google. You might need to provide your credit card information, but you will get $300 of credit, which is enough to experiment with few projects. So our project has been created. We can see it in the notifications bar. Let's just select that project. So this is the project that we want to select. Let's just search for service account. From here, we can actually create our service account. Let's select service account, and we can see we don't have any service account for this project. So let's just go ahead and create one. Let's provide it a name for channel, and we can see we have an ID auto generated here. Let's just go ahead and create. We don't have to bother about other options. So let's hit continue, and let's just hit done. So that's the email. We can actually copy and provide here. To have our private key, we have to create that. So let's select this service account here. We can see that we have a tab called keys. So let's go to that tab and hit add key. Hit the create button. So we can see we have received some credentials. So let's just go ahead and see what are the contents of this file. So those are the values we have here. For this, we have to select the private key from our service account. So we can just go ahead and select the private key here. And this is the private key. We need to copy the whole thing. And we also need spreadsheet ID. We can actually find it from the URL and paste it here. So we can see there are some errors. So from this account, we need to go to Google Sheets API. We actually need to enable this option. So let's just go ahead and enable this one. Okay, let's save configuration again. So now I think this error is indicating that we need to provide this email account permission to use this sheet, right? So let's just go ahead and provide permission here. And I have copied the service account email here and providing the edit permission. So I think now we have correctly configured everything. So now if I hit save configuration, it should be able to connect. So we can see there are no errors now. So the configuration is complete. I have cleared everything, and let's just start from the scratch again. We want to add a standard node here, product Q&A. We want to see what values we are getting from the Google Sheet, right? So we have our product list here and all the descriptions in separate columns. We want to fetch all the values in our chatbot. To do that, we need to add a card, get values card from Google Sheets section. So this is the Google Sheets section, and these are the cards available for all the operations we can perform These are available once you installed the Google Sheet extension. We want to use only this for now, which is called get values. Let's connect our node with the start node. Let's see what these get values actually offer. So here we can see we have to specify the range. The range will come from part of the Google Sheet that we have the values set. We are starting from this. So we are starting from row 1, A1 column, and we have specified the values till column H, row 5. So we have to select this range, and our name of the sheet is product details. So let us specify the range here. First, we need to specify the sheet name, then exclamation mark. Then we have to specify the top left corner, which is A1, colon, bottom right corner, which is H5. And then we have to create actually a variable that will hold all the values we fetch. So let's just go ahead and create a variable. This is the section where you manage all of your workflow variables. So you can manually create variables here, but we want to create through this card. So let's name our variable product info and hit create. So you can see our product info variable has been created. If we just want to print what we get from this, let's just go ahead and create a text card and see what we are getting here. We can use double curly brace to access the variables. Workflow dot product info. So now if we want to test it, let's see what we get. Fetching the variable and printing the values here. So we can see it actually does that. So it's like a dictionary. It has 3 keys: range, measure dimensions, and values, right? And inside values, it's a list of lists. So the inner list containing all the values regarding the different rows, right? So what we can do, instead of printing all of that, we can just print the values. So we want to use the values property, right? Okay. So now if we test again, every time we change something, we should restart the conversation and say hello again. Okay, this time we are just only printing the list that contains all the values. Now we have to use this information to actually generate a response based on the user query. So users will come to our page and ask us about our products or services. We will fetch the information from this Google Sheet and then generate the response. To do that, we need to add a card that will use an LLM to generate the user response. So we have to select the AI task. So this is that card we are looking for. Let's select this one. So let's have a look at this AI task card. It has few input parameters. The first one is task instruction. So let's write some instructions. We have 2 sections in this instruction. We have objective and behavior. So the objective is where we instruct the AI model and its general guideline. It should act as a page admin. So our page name is AI. Okay. So we put that here. And also we have a behavior section where we actually specify what it should do in specific situations. In AI task input section, we should provide all the conversation history and last user message, right? So we can actually use some variables that are built into this workflow. So we have conversation.summary_agent.transcript. This is just a summary of the previous conversations. And we also have last user message, which can be accessed through event.preview. So those are some built-in variables that Botpress provides. And we also provide the product info here, right? That we are fetching from knowledge base, that is the Google Sheet. So let's do that. To use this variable that we have created, which is product info. But so this product info variable is accessible through the workflow attribute. So we should use that info. And then we should access the values property. It might not work because this is just a JavaScript variable, right? We need to convert this values property, which is a list of lists, to just a a string that actually specifies all the product info in a string format. And to do that, we might need another variable here. So let's create a variable, which is we can call AI input and keep it as a string type and hit add button. So we have this product information from get values card. We have printed those values which we do not need. What we can do, we can add a card to execute our code, right? Because we need to transform the values here. So we have this execute section. We can find this execute code card. This card actually allows you to run JavaScript code, and from here you can access all the variables and run any kind of transformations. So here is the IDE. We can write any kind of code. So what we want to do, we want to fetch this product info variable where we can have the list of lists through this values property, and then convert all the values in a text format, which will look like a table to the input. So we can do that from here. So we can actually use this built-in AI code generation feature. We can describe what the code should do, and it will generate the code for us. So let's describe transform product info to it is actually suggesting some code here. Let's accept changes, and we can see what it is doing. And it's actually creating a new variable inside product info, which we do not need. We want to hold this transform text in our AI input variable. So let's call it AI input. So now this transform text will store the transform values, right? So instead of a list of list, it will just be a string, and our AI model will use this as an input. So let's close it. So after get values, this code will run, and insert our AI text, we want to use this as our product info table, right? So let's just go ahead and do that. So here we are providing the product info, and then conversation summary and last user message. Now this AI task should generate a response for us, and we need to store the response to show it to the user. Let's just create a variable here. Let's call it AI response. So now we can use this variable. We can see it's available here. So let's just select this one. Completed all the steps to configure this AI task. We are providing the generic instructions. We are also providing the inputs here, storing the response in a variable. So whenever user is actually sending any message, these are the actions that will happen in a sequence. This card will get all the values from our Google Sheet. This execute code card will transform the values we receive from Google Sheet and convert it to text. And AI response will fetch all those variables and instructions and generate a response. Now we should send the response back to the user. What we need to do, because users will not just ask one question, they will keep asking different kind of questions. So what we need to do, we need to fetch all those queries in a variable. And for that, we need to use capture information card. Let's just use the raw input and fetch the user input, and then move forward to the next instruction. And at this point, we should actually loop back, right, to the start of this question. So first, the user might say hello. Then we perform all the actions here, and then we send back the response and wait for the next input. And before actually waiting for the next message, we should also print the AI response, and we are printing the AI response in the capture information card. With every input card, there is a message that user should see, and we are using this place to actually print whatever response we got from this AI task card, right? And then user will send their next messages, and we just go back to the start of the loop and just follow these instructions again and send the response, and then go back to the instructions again and send the response. So it will happen in a loop because user will keep asking different set of questions. That's why I'm following this. So let's just go ahead and access our AI response variable for workflow. So workflow is the property that actually holds all those variables that we have created here. So we have to access it through the workflow property. So workflow dot AI response. So what will happen? This message will get printed into the user, and it will wait for the next message, and we will go to the top again. Let's have a look at the AI credits that Botpress actually provides for free to experiment with this AI task. To check what actually you have, the free limit, you have to go to this workspace. You have to select usage. So you can see Botpress provides $5 worth of AI credit that you can use to experiment with AI task. So this is free, by the way, and Botpress won't ask you for credit card details to allow you to use this free credit. And if you want to see what models actually being used behind the scene, you should go to settings, and from here you can scroll down and see what are the models that are being used here. So let's try and see what we get in our emulator. So let's just say hello. So it's getting the value from here. The value is transformed, then AI response is generated. So this is the response we are getting because this is just the beginning of the conversation. And let's ask about the products. So what? So we are asking about all the available products here. So we can see it actually listing all the products that are available from this Google Sheet, right? So we have all those products here, and our chatbot is actually listing all those products successfully. So this is great, right? Okay. So now let's run some experiments. So we have this columns here: unit price, available, size, and color. So let's ask the chatbot to list all those products. Those are black, right? So only black t-shirts should be listed. So we are asking about the black t-shirts and see what it gets. It's only listing the black t-shirt now because we have only one black t-shirt here. What are the full sleeve t-shirts available? So you can see in this column, we have a full sleeve t-shirt in the list, but it's unavailable. So let's ask, what are the full sleeve t-shirts available? And the model should respond that it doesn't have any available full sleeve t-shirts, right? Let's see if it works. So it should respond with a negative answer. Okay. It does not list any full sleeve t-shirts because it is unavailable, right? Our chatbot is working as expected. So this is our Facebook page, and we want to connect it so that we can actually use the messenger to interact with the chatbot. To connect our chatbot with this page, first we need to go developers.facebook.com, and from here we need to go to my apps, and I have already created few apps. I'm going to use this AI Designer bot app to connect our page with the chatbot. So we are going to select this one. We need to go to this messenger option and select messenger API settings. First, we need to configure the webhook. We have to go to our integrations option, and we need to actually integrate the messenger option from here. So select this, find more on the hub, and search for messenger. We need to install the integration. We need to select manual configuration, and we need to create a verify token. Okay, so let's use this. So this token will be used by Messenger to actually integrate this webhook. You can actually put any value here. So first we have to configure our page. So this is the page that I want to connected page, and then I need to generate a token. Copy this token and put it here. Then the client ID will be our app ID. So this is our app ID. I'm copying this and putting it here. I also need a secret. So to find the secret, you need to go to app settings and copy the app settings from here. And I also need the page ID, and you can just click here to copy this and put it here. So now we have all the values. So let's set the configuration. Let's go back to our app, and now we need to put the callback URL from here. So we are copying the callback URL, putting it here. We also need to copy this verify token as well. And then we can actually check if it is working or not. So our webhook is working. We also need to subscribe to necessary options. We need to select messages and messaging postbacks. So we need to select this. We should have V21, and let's subscribe this one. We also need messaging postbacks. This one, need to select version 21 and subscribe it. All right, so I think we have everything. Now I think we can test if we can actually chat with this. Let's see. Say hello. We're not getting the response back because we have forgot one important thing. We need to actually publish this before we want to use it with our page. So let's just go ahead and do that. We can hit this publish button, and it might take a few seconds. So you can see we're able to publish our bot in web chat format and in Messenger. So let's check again now. Let's say hello again. Right, so we are getting our response back. Let's ask about the products. So we are asking about the product, and it actually provides the product list. We have our product list here, which are available. Okay, let's ask about a t-shirt which is XL size. So it's providing us the full sleeve t-shirt which has the size XL. All right, so we are successfully able to connect our Botpress chatbot with our Facebook page, and we can use this Google Sheet as the knowledge base for our chatbot as well. So we have successfully implemented this architecture, and we can now use this chatbot as our assistant for our business page. And we can also reduce our effort that is necessary for performing user Q&A. So in the future videos, I will also try to implement other features like taking orders and providing order status to our customers as well. So till then, keep experimenting. If you have any questions regarding this, feel free to leave a comment. Our contact information will also be in the description of the video. So have fun, keep experimenting. See you soon again. Bye.